Alright, and we are back yet again. This is what, our fourth go? Not really 100% sure. Just having a lot of difficulties tonight, but we are getting right back into it as, Void holding the dominant side onto this point right now at 25%, but Queensguard looking to take a little bit of an off approach, trying not to get booped into this well, but Nathal is just getting those halts, those hooks off, and Elfie trying to get some boops into this well, but not able to do it. But House of Homie getting Not Your Average Dad is going to be huge, but instead it gets negated as Helix the Cat comes in for the res. Not really a whole lot helping here. Currently, Casual got one pick, but other than that, this fight isn't continuing.
Yeah, I mean, Quaking Punch got that initial pick on the McCree, but the hold potential of the Arista Hog, but Not Your Average Dad, is just incredible.
Now, so Homie popping that whole hog here, but I don't think it's gonna be doing a whole lot. It's just, kind of stalling when you shouldn't really be stalling. Not Your Average Dad, unfortunately, getting hooked there by House of Homie, and now Casual OpSec is gonna be coming back in to deal a little bit of damage, but Casual getting kind of bullied by Kazume up in that sky, and now we finally have a Queensguard set back up onto this point where they want to be to try to get some environmentals here as Elfie finally boops Nathal into this well. It's now at 88%, 25 at the beginning of this fight. And there goes 2 into the well, House of Homie and Hanzuki. It's looking pretty bad now for the side of Void. Or sorry, the side of Queensguard, as Void is just falling into this well. There goes Bongo from both sides. One not really doing a whole lot because it's back so far, and it looks like Void is going to take this pretty decisively here on the well.
Yeah, definitely. Again, Casual Spec getting that double boop, bringing back a fight that we didn't think was winnable. It's absolutely huge, and there's nothing you can do about that, especially because of the characters that they booped off. And I think we're going to see here a bit of that boop.
We definitely should, environmentals play really heavy to the play of the game here, so it is going to be the double right there towards the end, and unfortunately not able to finish off that Pharah, but that doesn't really matter when you've got 4 environmentals out of 19 elims on the match. So luckily able to pull that one out. So now it is 2 for the Queensguard and 1 for Void, as Void's starting to bring it back just a little.
Yeah, and with Queensguard unfortunately losing Kazume, it looks like they're going to be down a DPS player, because from what I understand, Lynx plays support. So it's going to be interesting to see how the team has to play.
I'm interested in what's going to happen, because I think that Nathal is actually part of Queensguard and just opted to fill for Void, so
Right.
Nathal is probably going to be the one that would go in here for Queensguard, but if Dire Raven's internet isn't going to be able to keep up, then I don't know what they're going to do.
It looks like Nathal is going to go over to Queensguard, but according to Tribalize, they're not sure if Dire Raven is going to be able to play because of the instability in her internet.
Not really sure. We're kind of still trying to figure it out, and we are going to be on Paris for our 4th map of the night, which could be or could not be our final map, with being a 2-1 here in the favor of Queensguard. But it is going to be our assault map for the night, our 2CP. This is another one that environmentals can get a little out of control if you hold on that first point incorrectly. How often do you see environmentals on this map?
On Paris, first one, it's actually incredibly common. There was a play in Overwatch League recently where Janice got like a 4K on Winston. But it really depends on the comp that the people are running. Ball and Winston are really good here, but it's more likely we're going to see the ball compositions here if the defense decides to run the Orisa comps. But the comps so far have been kind of unusual, so we're going to see if we're going to continue that trend into this fourth map.
I'm definitely interested to see how this goes because, something about this map just screams Hammond. I love playing Wrecking Ball on this map. The second point has that statue in the middle, which, makes for a lot of mobility, not just, the spinning in position, but also, getting the height and being able to slam down on teams for minefields or, just about anything, really.
Definitely, and Hammond comps typically run with 3 or 4 DPS, and with the number of angles that you can run here on the second point on Paris, Hammond in that style of comp works really.
As my former captain Nassif Khan would say, Hammond, best hero in the game, no question. And on this map, I definitely have to agree. I might agree all the time, but this map for sure. I think he's one of the stronger picks for this map.
Now, another composition we could see here is on the attack is a Orisa, Hog, and Diva. It provides a lot of tankiness against a potential Bastion or a Junkrat or something, allowing them to push through the cafe and on to the right and straight to point. And using the Diva Matrix to eat up a lot of that damage allows them to rotate to point and get that fairly quick.
Something else that I really like seeing on this map is, this defense a lot of time will run like that Bastion defense setup, which is interesting to me, but I really like seeing the attack Bastion setup when this bunker is held up on this high ground. Get that Baptiste and the Bastion, and the Baptiste throws Immortality Field behind that wall, and that Bastion, there's no way for you to kill him at all.
It looks like we're going to be seeing a Junkrat Ash strat here from Queen's Guard on the defense, with the Rein Zarya strat on the attack from Void. So let's see how this.
Casual OpSec going for that Pharah, and kind of in a bit of trouble now, discorded, and doesn't have the Mercy with him, which is going to be really unfortunate as he's not able to stay in that fight as long as he wants to. But we do have the Rein Zarya pushing in now with the Orisa Holt pulling him back. That shield is so close to broken for Not Your Average Dad, as Helix the Cat is just getting barraged down by the rockets of, or sorry, I don't even know what that was. Probably Elfie's grenades, I would assume. But Hanzuki getting casual OpSec and a Mono Yuki, and that's going to bring this push to a halt for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate that Void is running this Rein Zarya comp, but because of the constant spam damage of the damage boosted Ash and the Discord and the Junkrat mines, puts a lot of damage on Not Your Average Dad's shield.
So what do you think the ideal comp to run here on this attack would be?
I think here, Void should be probably running a more of a dive composition because they're not running that Bastion, and because they have that Ash. Ash is a very diveable character.
But that is going to be a huge barrage that actually came off of the boop, and now Elfie is going to fall as Not Your Average Dad charging to the enemy spawn almost, taking out two Quaking Punch and Tawny Style. Now House of Homie going to be almost the only one on point with oh, I don't know who that is, Lynxus? Lynx Disease as flying above with the Valk, not able to keep Hanzuki, I don't think, alive, as he should fall pretty soon here. But it looks like most of the team of Void were about to leave the point, and that should be a pretty easy cap from here.
Yeah, that was a great distraction from Casual Ops. Even just getting the one kill onto Elfie, the dispositioning Quaking Punch allowed Not Your Average Dad to get that huge charge, getting the kill, then eventually getting Tawny Style.
Now, I definitely didn't expect that charge to land, and I definitely didn't expect a second kill off of it. So, props to Not Your Average Dad. I know I couldn't hit that, so I'm glad to see somebody.
So it looks like Void's gonna be going on the coast side here. Looks like gonna be going up to high ground, which is an interesting strategy, especially because they have the Pharah in the Hanzo. The Hanzo could potentially flank around, but the Pharah playing in these small areas aren't exactly optimal for her play.
You almost put yourself in a defensive position there, as Not Your Average Dad takes out Lynx Disease once again with that charge, and Casual OpSec, you know, getting most of that DM'd out, but ends up picking up Quaking Punch, and now it looks like it's just about House of Homie is the only one on point, and that's going to be really unfortunate for the side of Queen's Guard, as Void is just looking so dominant on this map, but Quaking Punch coming in on the Winston with Elfie picking up a Mono Yuki and Not Your Average Dad, and here comes Bob to just clean everything up, and that Mercy is not going to stay in that sky for long.
That was a very good attack by Void, but to start not killing Elfie with the Riptire was absolutely huge because she just went and hide and got 2 crucial kills onto the Hanzo and the Reinhardt. Without that main tank there, to stop Hanzuki's incoming Bob was just incredibly devastating for that push, allowing Queen's Guard to...
Mono Yuki trying to look for something cheeky here on the Hanzo, not able to get a pick unfortunately, but he is gonna, you know, stay on this, and hopefully they're looking for that grab dragon, because that's gonna be for sure a clean fight win if they can land it just right. Quaking Punch now trying to do something on that monkey, but he's kind of cornered himself. And Tawny Style getting taken out on that Lucio, and now we have House of Homie looking to spin to win, to be able to just, you know, stall this out at this point. You know, not my favorite strategy, but it does work.
Yeah, it was interesting though to see him do that strat, because Hanzuki got the 2 crucial pick-offs onto Void, which I feel like would allow House of Homie to go in and get a nice pile driver in and help finish off the rest of the kills. But you know, spin to win has been around for a long time, and I guess it holds true to its strategy.
It's pretty much been around as long as Hammond has been. You know, being able to spin for the entire duration, you know, for as long as he wants to, honestly. And he's not the easiest target to hit. You know, if you have decent tracking, it's not that hard, but, you know, to get your entire team to focus him down is another thing. And he looks, House of Homie going in extremely strong here, and here comes the beat drop from Tribalize, not able to get anything here as the Graviton Surge comes out, and there goes Casual OpSec to pop too, as Link's Disease and Elfie both fall there, but I believe Elfie's coming back with Tire, so this could be a problem yet again. The Bob comes out from Hanzuki, taking out Not Your Average Dad, and you know, you may not need that Tire here. This is looking like a pretty clean fight win, except for Hanzuki and Link's Disease are now the only 2 on point, and Elfie's just looking for something, but there goes the Pharah of Casual OpSec.
Yeah, the Grav combo came in for Nathan OpSec, but as soon as they got those 2 kills and got onto the point, the target focus just didn't seem to be there, allowing Hanzuki to get the pickoffs that he needed, and allowing House of Homie and Link's Disease just to stay on the point and stall.
And you know, getting that Mercy early is sometimes a blessing and a curse, because if a Mercy has Valk, which, I mean, she does right now, and obviously she didn't use it, but if a Mercy has Valk, she can sustain that stall for so long with, you know, healing every single person on that point with, you know, just by flying above in the air where no one is really gonna be shooting you.
Definitely. It looks like Void's gonna go around the left side here. Big nade coming out from Hanzuki, getting a lot of...
They are going to switch over to the Reaper here, which is kind of interesting. Mono Yuki, you know, trying to put that work onto Quaking Punch's Winston, and the Primal Rage comes out, but gets shattered as Quaking Punch gets charged by Not Your Average Dad. And I guess the beat drop, you know, just wasn't enough, but there comes the Tire from Elfie, and the Bob from Hanzuki is pretty much going to clean this up completely, as Quaking Punch and Elfie are going to just kind of run through the rest of the team.
That was a good shatter there by Not Your Average Dad, but charging and that... even though he got charged and got the pick on Quaking Punch, it booped off the other shattered targets, making it very difficult for the rest of his team to follow up. It's typically better for him to use the Fire Strike and swing a few times, then charge to get the kill. So his team has the opportunity to follow.
At that point, you're just going bowling. I mean, you know, you shatter everybody down, and then, you know, just charge through them, just kind of knock them around. It's really hard for your team to capitalize, but if you Fire Strike through, you know, that's 100 guaranteed damage on everybody that you hit. And then you swing, and I honestly couldn't tell you what the swing damage is, but
75 damage.
You get a couple swings onto somebody, like, that's gonna kill most people.
And
That kills most of the roster.
especially with Reinhardt's wide swing range, they don't do a lot of damage to a lot of people, allowing him to hit both Quaking Punch and House of Homie that were shattered there.
We are going to see Amano Yuki pulling out the Bastion here with Helix the Cat on the Baptiste, which we saw Helix playing that Baptiste pretty well earlier. So I'm definitely interested to see how this one plays out. We are going to have casual OPSEC on the Junkrat, so there's not going to be a whole lot of time for the side of Queensguard to be able to stand at that choke.
Yeah, there are typically two spots here that the defending team can hold. They can hold right here where they're standing next to this, next to the police station, or they can hold to the right side more next to the gift shop area, to the store, which denies a lot of area for Hanzuki and gives Casual Lock some great chokes to spam through.
It looks like Queensguard is already ready for this, though, because they have Elfie there on the Sombra and House of Homie on that Diva, so it's gonna, take away a lot of that poke damage from their initial dive, and then when Elfie finally gets EMP built up, then there's gonna be a huge problem, because you're not able to do anything, and Bastion just kind of turns into a not as good soldier at that point.
Yeah, definitely. The way this could go when Elfie builds up EMP is a few things could happen. Elfie could, Nathal could get the huge hook on Elfie, canceling the EMP, or Helix the Cat hides and throws down that immortality to keep the team up, allowing them to re-heal up and regroup and get a few kills.
Honestly here, I'm kind of just looking for Elfie to get that hack onto the Bastion, to really set the pace for the team to engage. Because if you can get that hack off, then it's kind of just a free engage. You don't really even need the EMP. The only thing at that point then is the immortality field, which is going to be a problem. But Link's Disease falls extremely early, but Hanzuki getting that ult extremely fast, but it's not really going to matter. But Quaking Punch and Elfie now all rotating the point, and they're going to get a tick and a half already. And that could be game-changing for them here on point 1.
Yeah, getting that tick is really crucial, but it was very good of Void to continue to play that front line, take out the people up there, and then rotate back to point. Because if they had rotated back to point over too early, it would have allowed the people in the front to regroup, get re-healed, and potentially screw over the people that went back.
They definitely played that right, but still that tick without a whole lot of people dying is still nice to see almost.
Definitely, it's very reassuring for the attacking team, knowing that they're one step closer to getting that first point, especially since they Void did cap 2 points on their initial attack.
Sorry, not Amara, I don't know why I said that, I've been playing with her too much. Elfie going for the hack there on the Bastion, and ends up catching him, but the Junkrat so vulnerable right there on the side. Not able to get that pick as well, unfortunately, but there goes the immortality field, and there goes Hanzuki to pop off and get Amano Yuki and Helix the Cat, and then picking off average Dad. You're not your average Dad as well, and it looks like Quaking Punch is gonna go for that environmental kill. Not able to find it, unfortunately, as Hanzuki is gonna finish that one off as well. But honestly, they're making pretty good time right now. I believe they have to get like a tick and a half. Just a little bit over 57.7% here, and Queensguard will walk away with the victory tonight. 4 minutes to do it. Do you think they're going to be able to?
I mean, I think they have a very good chance here with the Valkyrie, the bomb, and the EMP. The play here is if House of Homie can get a bomb right in the middle of them, then Elfie at the last second comes in with a huge EMP. That could be potentially team wiping and allow Queensguard to get the huge pick.
Unfortunately, that EMP came in just a little bit early, but it doesn't matter because House of Homie gets 3, and Hanzuki is gonna clean it up as well. Hanzuki just built that all up so fast off of that first push. Like, I'm kind of impressed by that.
Him and Link's Disease playing on that overhead right side over the rooftop, getting in that spam damage, allowing him to build up that ult charge incredibly quickly, allowed him to get the first point without having to use the EMP, which is absolutely crucial to the success of Queensguard.
And that is gonna be the match for tonight. Queensguard walking away with a 3-1 final map there on Paris, looking kind of dominant. But, we're going to go ahead and move on to our player of the match. Hammer, who do you give it to?
I think both teams played incredibly well. But I think I'm going to have to give it to House of Homie. I think he played incredibly well and consistently throughout the entire series, especially at the end of it, getting that huge 3-man bomb, having great peel for his back line, and helping Quaking Punch in the front line. He did a great job.
You know what? I'm going to have to give it to Not Your Average Dad. Not a person that I don't think I've seen him in the scrims before, unless, the name has changed or whatever. But, looking really good on that tank role, even though, they didn't come out with a victory, but still very solid play from Not Your Average Dad here tonight. And so that's going to be my player of the match. I would like to hear your guys' players of the match here in the comments, if you will. But if not, then that is going to be about all that we have here tonight. Hammer, do you have anything before I send it away?
No, I think both teams played very well, and I think even though Void lost, this is going to be a good learning experience for them, allowing them to learn from their mistakes and potentially come back next time and get the
Sips T saying Hanzuki and Kazume, and Sun saying Hanzuki popping with that damage. Sun calling Sips biased because of being a tank player, but we'll let that one slide.
Sun calling me gay.
Hammer, he's got a little message for you, but don't worry about that.
It's
all
okay,
right, well,
Sun. You can rewatch the VOD.
That is going to be all for us tonight here with our Gold Division on the O.C.C. scrims. Queensguard walking away 3-1 against Void. So we will be back here Saturday with Ayaya versus Frost, and that should be a good matchup. Replay of the matchup from our playoffs of last season. So looking forward to that one. I'll be playing in that one as well as Jag the Nerd, who is stream hosting tonight. And I will see everyone on Saturday.